Adjust myself. Get this light issue. Okay. All right. I am ready for Motivation Monday. How about you? Well, Monday has been going right along. We're now at the end of Monday, but there's still some time left in the day. So I am excited to share some motivation with you. I have an exciting announcement that I'm going to share with you. And then I am going to also be sharing a little bit about my day today. I did not have a good attitude earlier today, and I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to talk about attitude adjustment. So I feel that I'm not the only one who ever gets into a funk with their attitude. And, I want to be that coach, that teacher who is transparent, So we are all on a journey, and I'm going to share about that in a little bit. But first, the new announcement. Do a little drum roll on my desk. So the exciting news is I am starting a Level Up book club. Yes. So this is something I have been wanting to do for about a year. And then things happened, and my life in October, when I left my full-time job, kind of took a big shift. And there were just a lot of adjustments that needed to be made. And so taking on the initiative to start a book club was a little more than I could handle at the time, because I was trying to get into some sort of groove as CEO of my businesses. And here is the thing. I have learned a lot. I have learned so much since especially January of this year, when I became full-time. For 3 months, I was traveling all over the place for work, and I wasn't even really in Brooklyn. I was literally everywhere else. And then January, I was back in Brooklyn, and I have learned so much as a full-time entrepreneur, and books have been key as part of that, as has mentorship and just talking with other people, having community. So I want to start this book club because, it's important. They say it's lonely at the top. I don't know who they is, but I don't want any of us to be lonely and trying to figure it out on our own. And back in 2017, I started a small business directory, the Big Black Book NYC, which I recently rebranded as the Black Business Connector, which features Black-owned, brown-owned, and women-owned small businesses. And the point of that whole directory was cooperative economics, bringing people together in the community, both entrepreneurs with one another, as well as, customers to the entrepreneurs. So, this is really kind of another extension of that. And so, but here's the thing, it's not just for entrepreneurs. Here's how you would know if the book club that is going to be starting, it's going to start in September. Listen, the kids are going back to school, and you know what? Life is a long process of learning. So we do not stop learning. The society or the world will have us think, oh, just stop learning. You get your high school, then your college diploma, maybe you get a master's or a doctorate, and you're good. No, we are learning. When my grandmother lived to 95, but she was always learning. She was interested in learning new things. I'd be like, Baba, I just made something. She's like, oh, how'd you do it? What was the recipe? We never stop learning. It's that curiosity. It helps us keep sharp, and it also just helps us keep happy. So how to know if my new Level Up book club, which is starting in September, back to school for us, so to speak. If you are looking for a community of like-minded people who have like a growth mindset, they say, and this is true because this is a fact, The people you are most likely going to be like are the people who are the 5 closest people to you. So if we are around people, and I spoke a little bit about this last week on friendships, so you can go back in my YouTube channel to last week. I was talking about friendships, but if we are trying to get ahead, we do not want to be unequally yoked with people who are just not living their dreams, not living out their goals. We want to be with people who are trying it. And when we fail, we want to, as a friend of mine always says, we want to fail forward. So, and we want to be with community so that when we do fail forward, we have other ideas or other supports, someone who might give us a suggestion for how to get back up and continue on, right? So if you are looking for, people who have a growth mindset, who are curious, who are really actively trying to grow themselves. If you're a small business owner, if you are even thinking about having a small business, you're not sure if this is the way you're going to go, but you're considering it. Also, if you desire to stretch yourself, you are literally working on becoming the best version of yourself. Every day we can try to do better. This is not a perfectionism. I am absolutely against perfectionism, and that can hold us back. So I'm not talking about a perfect self, but we're improving ourselves, right? And so this is because, the books that we'll be reading will have business aspects, but we'll also be doing some books that have, personal development and healing as well. Because don't you agree that we want to have a flow in our life of our professional and personal lives? We don't want to be like being pulled in all different directions. It should kind of like all flow. We want harmony. I talk to so many business owners, and I myself, I sometimes struggle with that personal and professional life balance. And so, we want to, take care of our personal development, like our, wellness, our mental health, as well as the health of our businesses, because they really all are intertwined. And the last reason why, or way you would know if this book club that I'm launching is for you, is if you want accountability towards taking the next step. So what we'll be doing is we'll be meeting the last Sunday of every month. So I will be announcing the book in advance. And so that book, after you read it, what you're going to do is when we meet, we'll be doing, I had someone ask about a virtual option. And my initial vision was to meet in person at like a little cafe or someplace cozy. And I'm still going to keep that, especially for September and October. I think it's very important for us to build community in person. There's nothing like an in-person connection. But I think like around the holidays, November, December, when people's schedules are a little more hectic, that we'll do more virtual. But in that meeting, in addition to discussing the book and things that we've learned, at least one step that we can take towards, applying what we learned through the book that month that we read. Because here's the thing, everyone's like, knowledge is power. And I used to say knowledge isn't power. But have you ever been, maybe it's not just me, but have you ever been in this situation where you're like, oh, I knew that, but you hadn't done that? So it's really applied knowledge. We can know a million things. And if we do not do any of it, what's the point? We can know how to budget, but if we never have any self-control in our finances, like nothing, right? We're not applying the knowledge. We can have all of the knowledge in the world on how to market our business, but if we're not actually doing it, what good is that? We can have all the knowledge in the world about how to forgive someone, but if we're not applying the tools of forgiveness, we're just walking around like angry, bitter people who are like dying inside, pretty much, right? And that was kind of how I started this whole channel, is because I was walking around. I had some knowledge. I had knowledge, for example, that I knew I needed to forgive someone, but I didn't want to apply it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to learn how to do it, right? And I got myself into a bad situation spiritually and emotionally as a result of it. So this book club, we'll be talking about the book and things that we learned, and then we'll be talking about how we're going to apply that new knowledge that we've been given. And then the next month when we come back, my vision is to start out and not spend a whole lot of time, but give everyone an opportunity to share out how they applied what they had learned in the previous month's book and how it went for them. So there will be that accountability, and there will be that motivation, right? To not just read and learn, but to apply knowledge. And I think, honestly, really, the community aspect and that accountability for applying knowledge is just absolutely critical for us to be able to level up in our lives, whether it is personally or professionally. So here's the details. Here's how you can do it. I'm going to, at the end of this video, I'm going to put in the caption description underneath the video. I will put the link to sign up and become a member. It is going to be a reoccurring membership. It is $9.97 a month for the membership. And that membership does include, when we have our in-person meetings, a beverage of your choice. So we're at a cafe and you want a latte, you want a hot chocolate, you want a chai, whatever. Like, it will cover one beverage of your choice. And then that will be what that payment goes towards. And then also, so using that link, you will use that to sign up for the membership. It will be a reoccurring payment. But of course, if you do not like the book, then no problem. You don't like how the book club's going, you can always, unsubscribe and end your membership. And this is not something that you have to be married to for a lifetime. But if you enjoy it, you enjoy the community, you enjoy the process, then of course, you will want to continue. So step 1 is sign up for membership. Step 2 is going to be to order the book. So I will share right now that the book that we're going to be reading, I don't have a copy with me. I actually just ordered on Amazon the physical copy, The Go-Giver. So we're going to be starting with that book. You will order that copy. It's an amazing book. I have listened to it on Audible, so I don't actually have the physical copy, but I'm getting the physical copy as well. So I'm super excited. It's a mindset book. So it's something that anyone can apply, this particular book, to their business or also their personal life as well. So you're going to order the book. Step 3 is read the book, right? Either listen to it on audio or actually read the physical copy of it. Step 4 is we're going to all go out together. We'll meet up, we'll chat. But like I said earlier, there will be some months occasionally where we do virtual meetings. And then obviously this system repeats. So I will announce. I was thinking I would do it at the end of the meeting, but I just realized earlier this evening, I was like, people need to have time to order the book if they want the physical copy. So probably like the last week. So like, for example, it's the end of August. So I just announced and sent out an email inviting people to join me on my learning level up reading adventures. Right. So I announced the book here at the end of this month. So in September, I'll send out an email to the people in the group, the book club, what to get for the following month for October. And it will go like that. Is there anything that I am not thinking? Oh, yes. So I was a teacher for 20 years. And so here's the thing. The teacher in me is wanting to come out, and I'm just going to let her shine. So I'm also going to be preparing a little PDF guide that I will be sending out to the book club members. And you don't have to use it, but if you want this little guide to take notes on or just jot down ideas, things like if you have an epiphany, you're like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that. That just changed my life. Or you're wanting to write down, oh, this gave me the idea to try this as my next step forward. And whatever your problem you're looking to solve, right? You can have a nice little PDF to note it down. So I'm going to be also giving everyone who is in the book club, like a guide, because I want this to be really impactful for people. Books, not just in my business, in my own personal healing journey. I went through, if you're just joining now and you have never been familiar with me before, I went through a physical trauma, and then I went through a heartbreak, 2 different people. And, books were actually the first thing that I found. I didn't know how to heal, and I was pretending, and I wanted to pretend forever that the physical trauma in particular had never happened to me. I was really in denial, but yet I also knew I needed help. And so God kind of sent people my way who let me know about a couple different books. And I probably will use at least one of them. The other one I probably won't, but one of them I will probably be using in the book club at some point, because that was really, very crucial also to my healing. And there's a quote by Groucho Marx that says, outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside the dog, it's too dark to read. And I love it because I love dogs and it's funny. And, books are really, they kind of really can be a best friend. And so that is, in a nutshell, what I am looking to accomplish with the Level Up Book Club that I will be starting September. Like I said, the kids go back to school. Why don't we go back to school as well? I feel like as adults, we really need to lead by example too. So if nothing else, when your child sees you learning and your child sees you growing and trying new things and struggling just like they are, because school's not easy for them either, right? But they see you also doing similar things, that's going to make a big impression on them. And they're going to say, oh, but mommy, but daddy, look, they're also doing what I'm doing. My education must be important if my parents are still, learning and growing. So, and maybe you don't have children. I don't have children yet, but I know children, right? Like, I can still set an example in the community for other children on how to continue evolving in life, right? So it's really important that what they see in the home, because kids are like sponges. I was a teacher for 20 years. They were not really so much interested in particularly what I was teaching them, but how I was teaching them, like my attitude towards them, and like just in general how I was behaving. And I think one of the things as a teacher, I know, like, one of my students said to someone, and they then turned around and said it to me, oh, I like going to Ms. Brown's class because she doesn't judge me. So like when I showed up in the classroom, I didn't try to pretend as a teacher like I always had it all together. And I never like condemned them when they didn't have it all together. Although sometimes we'd get into a battle of the wills if a student was like really not trying, right? Like really, but for the most part, it was, I'm here and I'm not going to pretend to be like, and as a coach, I want to be like that too. I'm not going to pretend I'm here and you're here. No, we're all here. We're all equal. We're maybe at different phases in life, right? I was at a phase where I had a high school diploma and my students were earning a high school diploma, but we were still equal because I was out in the world as a part-time at that time business owner, learning and trying new things, right? I was struggling to like learn how to form an LLC or whatever. And my students were struggling to like learn how to write an essay. So, it's just, I feel like, especially if you're a parent, this book club could be really great for you as a role model to your children. So I'm going to leave it there. And I want to kind of transition using that as kind of like a segue to my other topic this evening, attitude adjustment. So back it was like the end of June, I was like, my tooth hurts. It hurts bad. Like it hurt to eat anything, even to just drink water. And it didn't matter if it was cold or hot or warm. So I went to the dentist and they're like, you need a root canal. And they were like, and there's some other problems that need fixing. Let me tell you, I'm not a fan of the dentist. And one of the reasons why I got into the root canal issue was because of my attitude. And I had to go back today again to have like this side of my mouth, like I had to have a cavity filled. Let me tell you, I had an attitude, right? But to begin with, I went to the dentist for my teeth cleaning and she was like, oh, you don't need x-rays. And I was thinking, maybe I should get x-rays. But because I have a bad attitude towards the dentist, I didn't advocate for myself and say, maybe we should just do some x-rays because I know that like my enamel's not good on my teeth. Like, it's just like, that's the way my teeth are. So why don't we check this out? I was like, oh, good. She doesn't want to do x-rays. That means I can get out of here faster. I can avoid like anything extra unpleasant. Well, what ended up happening is because I didn't have the x-ray, the cavity at the beginning stage wasn't found and it developed into a full-blown root canal. Yes. So today, she's working and it was like a lot. And I said, I think I need a little more Novocaine. So when she stops drilling to give me more Novocaine, I'm like, half of my freaking tooth is missing. But I didn't say frickin', I said the other F word. And then I was like, I have the worst attitude. Here I am. I'm in this predicament because I already had a bad attitude about going to the dentist and spending extra time to just like get everything in my mouth checked fully. And now I'm here like cursing in the dental office. And this is just not a good look for me. I just did not have a good attitude. So she continues working on my teeth and I'm like, okay, God, I need to get it together. Just help me to get this together, God. So I was like, how can I switch my attitude? And I feel like this could be something that could help someone else, which is why I'm sharing it. What I felt God was showing me, and this is something that I teach all the time anyway, in terms of forgiveness, of changing perspective. I felt like he was saying, you are sitting in this chair and you are complaining every step of the way. And there are people in other places who are praying to me, asking, could you please send me a dentist? My mouth is in pain. I have this problem. I have that problem going on in my mouth. And they can't get that for whatever reason. They don't have the money. They don't have, maybe they live in some kind of remote area. Not everyone lives in the city and has direct access to the doctors, especially people who live in countries where like the medical establishment is not as well widespread or organized like we have here. And dentistry is really a luxury. And I felt like God was saying, you change your attitude by changing your perspective. Be grateful. And it's funny because I have written a lot in the past month, like in my email and everything, a whole thing on gratitude. And I was not practicing it. And as a result of not practicing it, I ended up in a place where I didn't want to be, right? And I'm not here going to beat myself up over it, but it was like a direct reminder to me that changing my perspective, that even though I'm not having fun, I do not like chemicals being put into my body. So even though I am disliking the fact that I'm having this Novocaine put in my body, I know that when I change my perspective, someone else somewhere in the world might be actually having their tooth worked on or pulled out because it's beyond saving and might not even have Novocaine as an option, right? So I started thinking about as I got like this suction tube, like sucking out like my saliva and a drill going on and everything, right? I just started thinking about the benefits and how fortunate, how blessed I am really to having a dentist who's taking care of me and having the resources to be able to pay her. And so when it was done, I thanked her with a smile. I was no longer, cursing about having this done in my mind or out loud. And yes, so my learning today was how powerful gratitude can be. And so I challenge you that if you're going through something tomorrow during the day and you are complaining about it, it's not your favorite thing. And it's okay that it's not your favorite thing. It's okay to feel like this is not my favorite thing, but still having a good attitude and thinking about the benefits of what you can go through it. And so, yes, that is my tip for attitude adjustment. And I have to go back next week, next Friday. I have to go back and she has to finish things up for me. And so I'm going to be remembering next week when I go in that I am blessed to be able to have access to a dentist and blessed to be able to have the resources to pay to have my last little issue fixed that's going on with my teeth on this side, right? So yes, I challenge you to find something, change your perspective to something that you can be grateful for, even in the midst of something that's not so fun. So that's it for this Monday motivation, gratitude, and book club. Definitely you can reach out to me. Either comment below in the caption your email address if you want me, or just comment to me privately. You can email me at levelupwithbeth@gmail.com. But I'm also going to put in the description below, I'm going to put the link to register for the Level Up Book Club. I'm super excited about it. It is something that I have been wanting to do, like I said at the beginning, for an entire year. And I am super excited that I'm able this year to be able to launch my idea. And I'm excited about building community, helping people to connect better because, it does not need to be lonely at the top. The CEO life does not need to be lonely. The whatever type of life you're living, because this is not just for business owners. You could use this in your personal life as well. But, to have other people around you who are also growing, who are also stretching is definitely encouragement. And then, you're not alone, and we can all learn from each other. So super excited, the book club. Looking forward to that. And I forgot to say that next Monday, I will be with my mom celebrating her birthday. Her birthday is actually on Saturday, but I'm making a long weekend out of it because I haven't seen her since May. It's been a minute. So yes, so next Monday, I will not be live, but I will be back the following Monday. So have a wonderful rest of your evening. Have a successful and peace-filled week ahead. And always know you can always reach out to me as well. I am here to serve you. I am here to encourage you. I am here to support you. That's the whole point of this. It's why I started sharing my story. It was really because I knew that I'm not the only one who's gone through trauma, heartbreak. I'm not the only one who is as a businesswoman, learning and growing, right? So, I know that what I do know and the tools that I have are not meant to just help me be successful. It's really to help, all of us be successful. So, yes, have a wonderful night and reach out to me if you need anything. All right. Peace.